All right, this should be live. Yep, I'm recording. Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Anne Marie, The Art of Healing. It is Monday, the 5th of August. I am here to just say hello to everybody and to come on and give you some updates. And as always, at the very end, have Spirit come in and give us whatever it is that we need. Um, so I just want to say, well, we just had some tropical storm. To be honest, I don't even know what the name of the tropical storm is, but it just passed over us yesterday, most of yesterday and today. We have high tides that are flooding the lake behind us and that are coming up. But other than that, we did have a lot of rain, many inches of rain, like over 10 inches of rain. And freaking my skylight leaked again. Now, 2 years ago, I replaced the skylight because it was leaking before. So obviously there is something other than the skylight that's leaking, and they need to go up there and figure it out. And it was a lot. It was a huge leak. It was actually a bigger leak than ever before. And we did go through a hurricane last year. And I don't recall it leaking that much. Maybe it leaked a little bit, but this was like, whew, there's a full-blown hole now. So we've got some work to do on that. All right, so that's house stuff. I just completed my third practicum weekend for my clinical hypnotherapy course. And so now all I have to do is pass an exam, and I will be an official clinical hypnotherapist. I just want to tell you how absolutely incredible this profession is. Miraculous, if I can say miraculous. Absolutely 100%. This past weekend, this whole past 100 hours. So it's in 100-hour increments, and I'm going to have 500 hours when it's all said and done. So the first 100 hours is just your basic hypnotherapy stuff. The second 100 hours is an emphasis on doing something called parts therapy. And the third 100 hours is an emphasis on doing life regression, this life regression. And so what we did for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, in our group of, I think, with the instructors, we were 12 or 11, is we sat in the chair and got regressed, and we also conducted regressions. I did a regression with the instructor. I paid her. I actually paid her for 3 sessions. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I have a healing journey with my mom. And literally, this healing journey is a lifelong thing. And if I told you what a shift from when I began this program to now, I can't even tell you. And it's very profound. Quite a lot of shifts have happened in my life, quite a lot. Perceptions, old things that needed to end, ended. New things that needed to begin, began. So my relationship with my mother is so vastly different. It's profound, okay, profound. And it was due to this work. So the first step, and I'd also love to thank those of you who have reached out and that I've been able to assist using these very techniques and I am putting the finishing touches on my new website. And I actually have a Facebook page, and I'm going to be calling it AMM Hypnotherapy, Anne-Marie Morales Hypnotherapy Arts. So the Art of Healing, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the Art of Healing, and I'm still trying to figure out where my skills as an intuitive energy healer and channeler play into all of this. And I really don't think they need to stop. They're not going to stop because it's who I am, obviously. Yeah, I'm still gonna see. I'm just gonna see. But in terms of like having like a legitimate business, this is what I'm gonna be doing. Because I can help anybody, not just energetically. I can help anyone, whether it be weight loss or smoking, or everything has something to do with our feelings and our emotions. And I'm telling you, this stuff is powerful. So just a little bit of some of the shifts that took place. So like I was saying, I had already done a regression with one of the instructors that helps us out. And she's been a hypnotherapist for over 10 years. Very knowledgeable, really, really masterful at her craft. And I went back. So the way that we do it is we start out with an emotion. If you don't have emotions attached to something, you're not going to, at least for us, that's how we work. And I wanted to focus on my eyes because you know that my eyes have had the thyroid eye disease and they're still a little bit puffy, okay? But I wanted to work on my eyes. And it's not technically for the eyes. Like we didn't work specifically on the thyroid eye disease because that would require a doctor's referral, which we could totally do. But for me, there was just emotion tied up with it. And because these emotions attach to parts of our body and create the illness. So it really doesn't matter what the illness is. It's really more of the emotions that you feel attached to that part of the body. So we did the eyes, and all these feelings of abandonment, being left behind, being unworthy. Oh my God, they were so strong. And I was just tapping into what I was feeling here, like not even at all. And there's a very beautiful method on how to get all of these beliefs out and these emotions out. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we accelerate the emotion. And then she regressed me back to the cause, or the initial, we call it initial sensitizing event, that literally made me feel like those feelings, like I'm not worthy, that I'm abandoned, that I can never have fun with people, that I'm always left out, not being a cool kid. This is in my entire freaking life. And I was thinking, oh, it's because I'm a starseed, right? We're starseeds. We don't belong on Earth, blah, blah. No, sorry about that, guys. That's just bypassing your truth. That's bypassing reality. Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, you could feel that way, but not for everybody, and it was not for my case. So what happened to me was I went back to a memory when I was in first grade. And in first grade, I had a nun as a teacher. Now, according to this memory, the nun punished me and left me alone in the classroom while everybody went outside for recess as a punishment. I am not that great at seeing things. Like there were a couple of women in this group that, I mean, their vision was stunning. Like they saw everything in like Technicolor. It was incredible. I'm not. That's not my gift. So, but I was feeling impressions. So I kind of got the impression of like one of those old-fashioned wooden um, chalk ledges and a black chalkboard, and I'm seeing windows and I'm hearing kids, and I'm alone and I'm hysterical crying. And I'm like, why did you do this? I'm just a little girl. What did I do? What did I say? What did I do? I don't understand. And my body was just going, I'm just a little girl. Why did you do this? I'm just a little girl. So, like, emotionally, I went right back to that moment. And then you bring forth your antagonist. Okay? So she said, bring the nun in. And what's interesting is I was like, just bring any nun in? Or what do I have to bring, the one that did this to me? She's like, yeah, you got to bring the one that did it to you in. So according to what this nun said was that I said something about Jesus and about God that challenged her entire existence as a nun. And it shocked her, and it angered her, and it touched a nerve, and she had to shut me down. She had to make an example out of me, and she had to chastise me. And she had to do it because if she didn't, it would have rocked her entire world. So in that moment, and I have told you, I've been telling you guys about the little girl. I did a video. Oh, stop texting me. Sorry. I did a video a few months ago about entity removals. Now, this was months ago. I was still in Zephyrhills, okay? And I talked about how I found a little girl in my heart space, okay? I had mentioned this before, okay? And then, and I just thought, oh, okay, here's this little girl. Oh, aren't you sweet? Okay, be free. I didn't know. But still, these symptoms were still going on. I was still having these feelings of being left out, of being alone and being rejected. I had just broken up with my boyfriend, and at this moment, I was so totally feeling rejected. It was still very, very raw. And you kind of feel like, damn it, am I never going to find anybody? So I had mentioned that several months ago about the little girl that I found in my heart. Then I had done another hypnosis session with another woman in Orlando. We did it through Zoom. And I had made a connection with the 6-year-old girl. 5 or 6-year-old girl. 6-year-old girl would be first grade. All right? Look at the how true this is, okay? But I didn't know why she was locked away. I couldn't get there. We had been together for 2 hours. The session was going to be over. And honestly, after that was liberated, this little girl was liberated, I didn't go back to this thing. But here we go. I needed to do it again because it was still there. I needed to understand and heal the initial event. So I go back, and what ended up happening after I spoke with the nun, and I asked her, how could you do this to a little girl? And she told me, because if I believed what you said and I didn't make an example to you and what you brought through for the entire class, I could never have functioned. Eventually, what needed to happen was, hey, can you say you're sorry to this girl? You freaking locked a part of her consciousness away from her for her entire life. And eventually there was reconciliation, there was healing and forgiveness. So on my end, when that happened, what I felt was a reconnection with my divine light self that I came in with. And if I told you it felt like there was like a blockage of a river, and then all of a sudden we lifted that blockage and the river was able to fill a lake fully. It was so profound and it was so beautiful because I finally reconnected with my original spirit, which was cut off from me at the age of 6. Unreal, unbelievable, and so freaking perfect. I can't even tell you. All right, so I had to go take care of something. I'm back now. All right, so that whole thing came about because of my eyes, right? Because I felt the emotions trapped in my eyes. Now, I don't know if you notice anything, but I am not wearing my cute, cool, clear plastic glasses. These are my older glasses that I got. God, it was still COVID. I was still teaching in New York, so it's been a while, okay? Can we say 5 years ago? Maybe? 6 years ago? I don't remember. 5 years ago? 4 years ago? No idea. So as it would be, okay, so what would happen to me is I would take my glasses off at night, drop them, and because they're clear and I'm blind as a bat, I'm nearsighted, I could not see where they were. And I'd literally have to wait until my son woke up and say, Mario, come and find my glasses, because I didn't know where my spare glasses were. Lo and behold, just about a month ago, I came across my glasses. I came across these guys. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Now at least I know where they are. If I ever need a spare, I know where they are. I had begun noticing that I could not see the television. Okay? I could not see the television very well. And it was beginning to bother me. Now, my right eye, which is this one, was the one that was most affected by the thyroid eye disease. It would bleed a lot. I would have subconjunctival hemorrhages. It was the buggiest one. And one morning, I dropped my glasses. Couldn't see them, but I thought, oh, okay. I've got my old ones. Let me put my old ones on. Even with my old ones, I couldn't find my glasses. Like a couple of days, and my son was out of town, and I always ask him to help me look, and I couldn't find them. And during these few days, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm seeing better with these glasses than I am with the other ones. So it looks like my eyes are back to where they were pre-disease in terms of their vision. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm thrilled. I do still have some lingering issues of elevated pressure in the eyes, and I do still have a little bit of the puffiness. But for the most part, I'm feeling really good. And as a matter of fact, I am no longer taking thyroid medication. I have I did that along with the blood work, which shows that my levels are too low. So I weaned myself off of the medication. So I am not taking any thyroid medication at the time. So that's pretty awesome. considering how I only went to a doctor in December. Yes, I've gained about 30 pounds, but I was very thin. The thinnest I was about 117 pounds, which I've never been 117 pounds. I think maybe when I was 15. Okay. So I feel good. I feel healthy. I feel normal in so many ways. So it's a huge marvelousness. All right. Now, this is a long video. Keep with me. It's important. Because if I'm going through it, something is similar happening out in the world out there. And if what I go through helps one more person, that's all I care about. So please stay tuned. Don't leave yet. The other issue was that I was found to have a mass in my left breast. It was a cyst. It looked fluid filled. All right. But nonetheless, it was very emotional. Okay. It was like a level 3 out of 4 for concern. And I was having a lot of problems with the health insurance that I had at the time. I'm actually filing grievances with the state and the insurance regulation commission, or whatever it is, consumer fraud, because they're a private company and they legitimately are dicking around the process of paying for my claims. And just like, it's awful. It's been awful with this company. So I have since dropped them. I was able to get another insurance, and through the Patriot Insurance Network or something like that. And because of the income that I make, it was really affordable, and I'm just so happy that whole thing is over with. But wow, it takes shifts. Big shifts though, okay? Big shifts in energy. So anyway, here I am trying to heal one part of me, and freaking now I've got something going on in my breast. Fast forward to this weekend, and we're doing regression work. If you've been following me from the beginning, you know that my entire spiritual awakening happened because of the dissolution of my marriage, and subsequently my ex-husband having more children with his new wife. Okay. I'm a maternal being. I loved being a mother. I wanted more children. And I was married from the age of 22 to 46. Those are my years, okay? Those are my years of fertility. And it was a devastating blow when I found out after, and I wanted more kids, and we could afford them. But he said no. He said no to his wife. Anyway, when I found out that he got his girlfriend pregnant, that's when I kind of went close to suicide. That's when I was like, that's it, I'm done. Fuck it all. There's no God. There's no Jesus. Why? Like, how? I am like, if you've ever met me, if you know me, I mean, I love babies. I loved being pregnant. I loved nursing my children. I just remember, I remember being a young mom, waking up every 2 hours to nurse my now 33-year-old child, right? I remember looking down at him on my left breast, okay? nursing this baby and going, is there anything better in the whole world? No, there's not. And I believed it through and through. So this was devastating to me. Okay, devastating. That my years of fertility were wasted, in my opinion. And, you know, it's been an issue with me a lot. Okay, it's been a big issue with me. And even meeting my last boyfriend, and fuck, if I would have given him a kid, I'd do it anyway. I'd been in vitro fertilized. I would have done it. Okay, but unfortunately, I got very ill, and then all those thoughts went to the side. Okay, so let's look at the body. Let's look at the representation of female breasts and how they relate to me, because this is my story. This is no one else's story. Okay. For me, my breasts are beautiful, sensual. They make me happy. Okay, I love them. They make me happy. And there's a manifestation there of something, of a belief. So this weekend I sat down and my breasts were hurting that morning. It was Saturday morning. I was lying down for the meditation on the ground, and I fucking had so I had a mammogram in the beginning of June. The third week of June, within a week, they were like, we need to schedule some more. You've got something going on in your left. We want to make sure. Come back in. So 2 weeks later, I went back in. They didn't take one mammogram. They took 3 views of my poor left boobie. And it fucking hurt. So then after that happened, I digress. So they did 3 views. They put me back in a waiting room filled with women with no shirts on and these pink robes with the little pink symbolism. And I'm like, fuck y'all. I was just angry. I didn't want to be there anyway. I hated doctors. I still... Then they're like, we need to do an ultrasound. You did 3 views. Now you want to take an ultrasound, and I was still on the old insurance, okay? I'm like, why? This is all going to come back to me. I'm going to owe you guys $1,000. It's going to end up being $1,000 out of my pocket because y'all are taking all these fucking pictures. And the lady was like, look, we need to do it. It's really important. You got to get it done. I'm like, okay. I've learned about resistance and how resistance is not an energy that I need to stay in for too long. So they did the ultrasound, and she's like, you've got something here, and we recommend you go and get a biopsy immediately. And I'm like, no, no, you're not poking me. You're not poking me. I've let you do the ultrasound. Thank you. I've got this. I've got this thing going on with the insurance. I can't do a thing. I'm not moving forward. As it happened, something came into my life. I saw it on, it was a synchronicity. Okay, I shifted out of the insurance, did a shift of that into a new insurance, totally better. I'm not going to be charged $1,000. I'm in a system. It's an HMO. I'm very happy with it. And I have almost 10 years of experience in the medical insurance industry. Way back when my kids were babies and being born, I used to work for doctors, and I did their insurance billing, and I understand this process very, very well. So, okay, I leave there. I'm angry. I'm so fucking angry. I'm angry because, again, another thing? Really? I just got done with this. What the fuck am I creating for myself? Like, what is happening here? I'm angry because I wasn't with my boyfriend. And his mom died of cancer, breast cancer, had breast cancer, and I was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck everybody, fuck y'all. I was so fucking angry. Like, why again? Why something else? I know I don't have cancer. I don't have cancer. I feel it. I did the pendulum when I was not losing my mind, calmed myself down, asked my body, and the body's like, no, you do not have cancer, but you did manifest this. So you got to handle it. You got to deal with it. So I do have an appointment actually this Wednesday with a breast surgeon. They are not going to poke me. We're going to watch it. I don't care what they say. We're going to watch it, and we're going to do another ultrasound later, and we will assess then. So, now, there I am. After that mammography, my boob hurt, man. It hurt. I found out, okay, that, and just was days later, like 2 days later. But you see, had I known about this before, I never would have done the mammography. I'd be like, screw it. No, nothing going on, because that's how I am. So Spirit allowed me to get this information only after I did what I needed to do. Not only because the breast tissue has nothing solid in it, they need to irradiate the breast 1,100 times more than if they were x-raying a hand. So my poor left boobie had 4 times one mammography. And not only that, they put 50 pounds of pressure. 50 pounds of pressure. I found this out also not so long ago. That in order to squish it enough to get a concentration of tissue, they put 50 pounds of pressure. So I had 50 pounds times 3 on my poor, beautiful, gorgeous left boobie. And my boobs have been hurting me since then. And we're August now, okay? So this is June. So for 2 months, my poor breast has hurt. Hurt. So there I was Saturday morning lying flat, and my breasts were killing me. And I'm like, what am I gonna regress? Because they had to practice. My classmates had to practice, and they had to practice on me. I'm not gonna not let them practice, but I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna deal with? What am I gonna do? And that was it. It was my breasts, because I immediately started crying, and I was like, okay, emotion is telling me. Okay, emotion is telling me that this is what I need to focus on. And so the woman who did my session was one of the brightest. You know, she's brilliant at this. I'm pretty damn good. She's brilliant. Okay, name. I'm not going to say her name, but she is the one who did my regression. And I went to that trauma. I didn't go to childhood. There was nothing there. But I did regress to when my ex-husband left and when I found out he was having a kid. And I don't think he ever quite understood how absolutely devastating that was to me. I don't think I ever got to just let him have it. I might have. I don't remember. But that's who I dialogued with. I was like, did you have any understanding what it was like for me to know? Now, interestingly enough, that was the time that I met Tina Spalding. The exact time. And when I had somebody actually in her community paid for me to have a free session, a channeling session with Tina Spalding. And that's what Tina Spalding told me. You need to come to grips with the fact that you only had 2 children. That is what you contracted for, and that is what you got. And you need to come into acceptance of that. Obviously, 10 years later, I'm still having repercussions of that grief and a lack of processing that grief. So I dialogued with the higher self of my ex-husband, and we brought him in, and we spoke to each other. And I was like, did you have any idea how devastating that was for me? That you said no to your wife, but you went on to, albeit mistakenly, get her pregnant, whatever, but there were no mistakes, right? And then go on to have another kid. So you had 2 kids with your new wife, and with me that we had, we were together for over 20 years. So his higher self came in and told me so beautifully, first of all, that he's well aware of the devastation that news gave to me, and he's well aware of how us not having more children impacted me emotionally and mentally. And he said, I am dealing with the consequences of my actions. And he said, but it's really not your concern, that's my concern. But what his higher self said to me was, can you see what an act of love all of that was? Because had you not broken down, had you not had all of your illusions wiped out, you never would have been the person you are today. I literally did that act of love for you to have your awakening, which was amazing. And then the woman who was facilitating my session said, I think we need to talk to your left breast. And so we dialogued with my left breast. And one of the things that we ask is there another name you want to be called other than left breast? And she said, reflection. Interesting. So my left breast is a reflection of me. Incredible. And the wisdom was, this was orchestrated by your higher self, and to give you this lesson. First of all, you have to forgive. You got to forgive the booby. The booby is not you're not your body. So basically it was, hey, you're not your body. You have to forgive your body for reacting to what you created. Because I'm merely a reflection of you, your mind. Okay? You created this very masterfully. And you created it in the left breast. Okay? And you created it here because it was tied into your ex-husband. And it's tied into your sexuality. And it's tied into your motherhood. And it's tied into something that you, as the persona Anne Marie, and I'm a Scorpio, and I have an alter ego of Betty Boop. I've been told by many people. I mean, I've let that go, but that was a part of me for a long time. Very, very flirtatious, very sexy, very curvy, whatever. And I needed to see that. And I needed to come to even deeper understanding of how we create our bodies to reflect our minds, to reflect our beliefs, to give us an opportunity to carry out whatever we need to carry out on this earth plane. So incredibly insightful. And everybody that was in the room was like, wow, listen to all this wisdom. Okay, because I was channeling it. You know, I'm a channel. What can I do? I was channeling this higher wisdom. And it deeply impacted all the women. And it actually deeply impacted this beautiful woman who conducted this session for me. And one thing she said, which I'm going to send her this video, and I hope she listens to it because it's very important. She said, you're going to walk into that office with that doctor there, and you're going to say, I know more about what's going on in this boob than you ever will. And you will carry this knowledge and you will create your, something like that. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Because at the end of the session, we've got to empower the soul. We got to empower the mind. We've just overcome an incredible trauma. And part of the healing is empowering. So that's what she did in that moment. And it was absolutely freaking beautiful. So, wow, I've been going for a little while. It's a long video. But you're still here. Thank you. All right, my loves. Does Spirit have anything to say now that I've been yapping for 45 minutes, 41:30? Oh, well, I am reflection. I am the energy of, we will not just say the left breast, but we will say I am the energy of education. I am the energy of reflection. That was literally created in that moment for that very particular conversation. And so now I communicate to all those who hear these sounds, these vibrational frequencies that are interpreted by your ears. You are dynamic creator beings. Caught, we rephrase, not caught, experiencing an intensely dense, emotional, reactive, dualistic planet. None of you are exempt from this experience. When you become exempt is when you leave the physical plane. That is when you are exempt and no longer are a part of this physical planet. So, the reason for this communication is for you to truly wrap your heads around the concept of your mind, your frequencies, your vibrations, your words, your thoughts, and your emotions. Everything that you experience is important. Everything, the joys and the sorrows. This incarnational experience that you are having on this earth planet plane, in this density and vibrational frequency, is a constant creative experience. Now, you are in an organic vessel that represents the biology and the chemistry of the planet you live on. And thus, in this biological avatar, you will experience the effects of the time-space continuum that is prevalent on your Earth planet. You experience what is called time. And in your time, you experience memory. Memory is knots on a wood. It is a representation of moments in time space that have made an impression on you. Notice you do not remember rote things. You do not remember foods that are unimportant, that are in your routine. But the memories, the experiences of both joy and sorrow, pain and pleasure, these things anchor themselves and mark, and we use air quotes, time. So in this person's physical time-space capsule, the devastation, and we use words because that is word that comes up in this body-mind complex, that spiritual, that emotional anchor point caused a rippling effect throughout time that manifested the experience of this anomaly in her body. Just like this was an experience of an anomaly in her body generated by years and years and years of a blockage of her true nature. The beauty of enlightenment is the realization that you, through understanding and forgiveness, change and shift your now moments to where the body evolves into or out of dis-ease. As the body goes into ease, when the body was out of ease, manifesting all sorts of signals and signs that reflect themselves in the physical body, your now moments of forgiveness and understanding can regenerate your reality. Each and every one of you are in control. When the Master Jesus walked the earth plane, his words are clear. A healer, as this dear being is, understood and stated, it is by your faith that you have been healed. He was merely the catalyst. He was merely the vessel, the space holder for the individual to believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that they were capable of healing. So, the process continues day by day in each and every one of your present consciousness and subconscious moments. The subconscious must be healed, or the conscious mind must be in utter belief. And that is the issue. If your conscious mind is not in utter belief, 100,000% belief that matter follows mind, then the dis-ease will continue. And this is not to shame anyone. This is merely a fact. It's a truth. It's a law of your dimensional reality and a reflection of the incredible nature of the human mind. Indeed, the divine nature of the human mind. We will leave you with this information, and we encourage you all to take steps to heal the mind. For therein your creation lies. Woo-ha! How freaking beautiful. And I will say, I need to listen to that over and over again because so many things to heal, right? So many now moments to clear, and incredible. All right. I still have a little sensation, but no obvious pain like I had before. Before I let you go, check out ammhypnotherapy.com. I'm not going to put the link, but if you read it, you can go to it. ammhypnotherapy.com. It's not official yet. It's a soft opening because I have not passed my exam. But I've done this work. I can do this work. I'm happy to do it. All right. I love you. Thanks for sticking around. Be well, be blessed. I love you. I love you. I love you. Bye.